How many wish lists do you have now? Because right now, this month, you're going to launch your game.
Yeah, Fire Software has played my game on stream, right? Yeah, I mean, I think he really liked the game, which I think that's really good, in my opinion.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Behind the Indie Game. And today I'm joined by Rob, or Rob Does Stuff, who is an indie developer that I've met here in Brasov, in the Game by Brasov community, who is working on a game that he will launch right this month called LightQB, a very, very interesting and fun game. Rob decided to remain visually anonymous, and this is something that I'm going to respect. You're going to see an avatar, not his face while talking, but the conversation will be really, really interesting, and I'm sure we'll learn a lot of stuff on the indie development journey side. Rob, please, can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you're working on now?
Yep. Hello, everyone. I'm Rob. I'm a student, and I'm a solo developer working on the game LightQB, which is set to launch on 20th of this February. I started working on the game around 12th grade. And
wow. So that means 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, 3 years ago. So it's been in development for 3 years.
Well, the duration of your whole college period, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Nice. And how did this idea came to you of making this type of game? And I'm gonna share the screen for your Steam page now, and also if you can talk a bit about the game.
Yeah, the game is about a level-based parkour. The idea is to go as fast as possible and get to the finish line using every single mechanic there is in the game. The game has a lot of them. We have jump pads, gravity inversion cubes, you have lasers, you have portals, you have flying machines, you have rocket launchers and grappling hooks and stuff like that. They are placed in such a way, more in a puzzle-like way, but it's pretty intuitive to use these in order to finish the levels. That's basically the game. It has around 21 levels.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I really love the visual look of your game. This neon high contrast vibe to it. It's really interesting. And it's in the fast-paced speedrunners category?
Yeah,
Would
sure.
that be correct?
Regarding the visual style, I think I have a lot to say about it. At first, it wasn't necessarily looking like this. I remade the visual style more than 5 times already. So the first time was like the prototyping phase where everything was like gray and base colored. And then I tried to go for the neon look, but it was only black and white. And that was a bit boring. So then I added colors, and then I figured out that the game wasn't very readable, so I added those arrows you see on the walls.
So initially you went for a black and white look, a monochromatic style?
Yeah.
Wow, that would have been a different game. That would be an Easter egg level if you want to add it later. But right now the visual style is perfect. It's spot on.
Yeah, actually you can still play it black and white if you want to, because I have visual settings. You can change presets and stuff like that. Yeah, so you asked me about the idea, right? I started this more as a project to learn cool mechanics, how to make them in Unity, because I first followed some Unity tutorials and then I was like, okay, but let's make something I can call my own. I played Portal 2 in that period of time, so okay, so that's really interesting. So I want portals in my game. And then how do I make portals, right? Because it's quite complicated for us from a scripting perspective. I think when they made Portal 2, they had like an entire team of devs set on making that, look realistic, but I can probably do it myself, I did that, and then okay, but what kind of game could use Portal? A puzzle game, right? So let's add some puzzle mechanics. I added like the jumping pad and the thing that inverts gravity. And actually the first time I made the game, the only game mode was puzzle. Like you had a puzzle game mode, right? So it wasn't even about parkour in the first place. Like I was trying to get more ideas flowing. Okay, but we can have puzzle. Maybe we can have another parkour game mode because it would work out fine with the mechanics I got. And then I wanted to have like a boss fight as well. I had like 3 things going on at the same time. And I remember I made only one boss fight level, which was like a fight against the Rubik's Cube, which you can still find in my YouTube channel actually. But it's not in the game anymore because I realized that I was over-scoping by a lot. And I also realized that if you make a puzzle game and have nobody to test the puzzles for you, the game is going to be boring because you know all the answers. You can't exactly appreciate how fun a puzzle game mode is all by yourself because you already know the solution, right? So I gave up on that idea and then only started working with the parkour side of things.
That's a very, very interesting blend of genres. Portal with parkour elements to it, but also very fast-paced speedrun.
Yeah.
That's an amazing genre.
Yeah, I mean, once I started posting stuff to YouTube and stuff like that, people said that the game looks and plays very similar to Geometry Dash, but 3D. So I was like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I didn't think of it until then, but then I fully embraced it. I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, you could say that.
I also could see it. That's a good comparison to it. You also made the art style yourself, or did you have help you?
Yeah, no, everything was made by me.
So the whole part, development and art, that's amazing.
The only thing I didn't make is the Steam page art and the music for the game. I outsourced that.
Wow, that's amazing. Considering your age, you're just in your last year of college. I'm surprised and amazed. Congratulations, you did a really good job on this.
Thank you.
It looks and it feels amazing. This is also on the challenging side, right? It's not a very forgiving game.
Yeah, for sure.
What made you decide to make it this type of challenging game?
Well, I was always a big fan of difficult games, like Getting Over It and games like that. Regarding Getting Over It, actually, I think my best speedrun of that game was around under 10 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing.
I was really into that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a game that I find fun to play. And like I find fun challenge.
Wow, 10 minutes in Getting Over It. that's something. I've also discussed with other developers in previous episodes, and it seems that this game is a landmark for people getting them into the development journey of what difficult game can be. Would you say that this game that you made now is your dream game? Or did you initially wanted to start with something that you can actually build and then move on from there and build something larger?
I think it's nowhere near close to my dream game. I mostly started making this game to learn, and then I started enjoying the process a little bit too much, so I sort of developed it into a fully fledged game. If I were to start again, I would do a bunch of things differently, and honestly, I'm not sure if I would have made this game to begin with.
Wow, that's very interesting. Really? Why is that?
Well, how should I put this? So when I made this game, like I said, I wanted to play around with mechanics, learn scripting, learn stuff like that. If I could keep all the knowledge I have right now and just go back in time, I would make a game that's easier to market and better when it comes down to online visibility and stuff. Because this game has a big problem to it, which is it's hit hard by like all of the algorithms because of the bitrate. If you have a very dark and contrasty game like this is, if you post it on like any social media like Twitter, like where compression is very heavy, even Twitch actually, Twitch also is like very compression heavy, it will look extremely scuffed.
I did not know that.
And
so you're saying that these social platforms don't make justice to your visual style of the game when you post screenshots?
Yeah, even YouTube actually, unless you post in 4K because you get more bitrate. Because this game, due to how video compression algorithms work, this game is very tanked. Like it looks very janky. You need like 20K bitrate for it to look good, which social media just doesn't provide because, you know, it costs money.
Interesting. So this would be one thing that you would change. You would have this in mind before creating the game, or the visual style at least, to be more friendly towards social media platforms.
Yeah, that's one thing I would do. And there's also a thing that I should mention. Back then, I didn't know what genres are like proven genres and stuff like that. For example, when it comes down to platformers, I think they have on Steam, I think there are more games that are platformers than any kind of game on Steam, either 2D or 3D. And they have like the worst market value in the sense that it's hardest to succeed with a platformer. So I didn't really pick the genre quite well in the first place, you know?
I know what you mean. It's an oversaturated market. I mean, there can be still some room for a few hits, but there are a lot of games on Steam in the platform genre.
Yeah, I think right now, like the hottest stuff is like friend slop and horror games. And of course, creative or simulator stuff, which are always,
sandboxes. Yeah. But still, I think you have an advantage because your visual style is appealing and really unique. And it's a 3D platformer. If it were a 2D platformer, then I guess a lot of people would have directly compared it to Geometry Dash, and then it would be not its own game so much in terms of identity.
Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. And yeah, I mean, I hoped that I made a very original game.
Yeah.
because I wanted it to be quite unique, which I hope that I achieved. Regarding why the game is 3D, to be honest, I just am very bad at 2D art, and I've been doing 3D modeling since I was like 12 or something like that. So I have a lot of knowledge in that field.
Well, yeah, that's a side effect of making our own games. We learn a lot during this journey and along the way.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It's not a wasted experience and effort. I'm really curious on the level design, because this type of game needs very, very specific handcrafted level design, right? In order for it to flow this way. How did you create it? What is your process for it?
Yeah, so this is very interesting, actually. So the first thing I do, because I have a workflow to make these levels. So first I come up with an idea. Okay, how I want those mechanics to interact in such a way to create the fun level. So then I have the idea. And then I go into Blender and create the entire map, but without the cubes, because those I add in Unity. So just the walls and floor and stuff like that. So I do that, and then I go inside Unity, add the mechanics, basically the scripts and everything else. And then I test it out and see if I can complete the level. And if not, then I go back to the drawing board in Blender and make the according changes. And I repeat this until the level is playable. But it doesn't satisfy me to just be playable and smooth. When I play it, it also has to feel good. So I play the level, I finish the level, and then I check if the gameplay I made looked janky, or if I had to stop for a long time, or if it made sense to like calculate the jam there or stuff like that. So then I change that to feel okay. And then I get the level and send it to a few of my friends which play the level, because they played my other levels as well, so they have some experience playing the game, and they tell me like how intuitive the level is. And if it's not intuitive enough, then again I go back to the drawing board, I make changes in Blender, jump that in Unity, make the modifications necessary, and test it out again, basically.
Very interesting process. So it's pretty hands-on and direct. You just block out the initial step of the level, then you iterate yourself on it, you test it a lot by trial and error. When you're happy with it and it's also fun, then you directly play test that level. So just one level, you send it to friends to play test and give you feedback on it, and then you improve it again, right?
Yeah.
And after you have this whole loop completed and you're satisfied with your level, then you move to a new level.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
interesting. I think making the entire levels for the game took around a few months, like I don't know, 5 to 7 months, somewhere around that range.
How many levels do you have now?
I think I have 21 levels.
21. Okay. Wow. I'm guessing during that period you were dreaming levels, right?
Yeah, I was eventually getting sick of it, to be honest. Like, it was a lot of levels.
Yeah, for sure. Do you also have, I'm guessing you need to have leaderboards so you can see who completed the levels fast as possible, right?
Yeah. I'm using Steam's API for the leaderboards and stuff like that. So it's saved through Steam.
Yeah. I'm curious if anyone will beat your time.
This already happened, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I gave my game in early access to some speedrunning YouTuber, like a small YouTuber. And he made a video beating every single one of my times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, that would be a challenge to everyone watching. See if you can beat Rob's game once it's out.
I kind of let him have it, because if I wanted to, I would probably like spend a few hours beating him back. But then again, it's his achievement. I'm a very competitive person,
Yeah, well, you need to be in order to make this type of game. So yeah. Was there a moment during the whole development of this game where you thought about quitting or changing the direction completely?
I mean, there have been a few, actually, because I changed the direction of my game a few times, like I've previously mentioned. But after that, I think the moment I was thinking of quitting was like after I posted the first few trailers of the game and seeing that I've gotten like no traction whatsoever, nothing, nowhere, and I've seen like the horrors of the beat rate of my game and stuff like that. So I was very let down. I was like, okay, so I did everything wrong. And then I looked on YouTube on like marketing tutorials, and every single tutorial was, okay, so first thing you do, you need to choose the genre well. Don't make a platformer. And I'm like, okay. And yeah, that was a very depressing period. I think what made me push through was actually just after I got the demo out there for people to play, and people like join my Discord and stuff like that, I started getting a lot of feedback on what I could do better and what sucks at the game. For example, having adjustable field of view, having the green cube slow down gravity when it activates, because in before it would just flip you instantly, and most people were saying that it was inducing motion sickness, which I can understand, but I had gotten used to it, so I couldn't feel that, you know? So a lot of feedback. I think, like I said, the feedback shaped the entire game, more or less, because it made it more readable, less sickening and stuff like that.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing this. This is very personal and brings a lot of insight also to me. I've seen this also in my game that together with other people we are working on, Fraggy Go mobile game. During the development phase of our mobile game Fraggy Go, in the first year of development at least, we weren't sure what the game actually can be and what's the final idea of the game. We experimented a lot with a lot of mechanics. We weren't as motivated, let's say, because we couldn't see the end of the tunnel. But once we started doing our first beta test, an open beta test, then we got a lot of feedback, and this helped us a lot, seeing some engagement in the game. And we were also surprised to find out that our core audience is mostly children. Although the game isn't directly towards them, it's for everyone, but children enjoyed the game mostly. So this influenced our design ideas afterwards. I'm glad to hear that this applied to you. Getting feedback directly from players and seeing them play the demo, this brought you energy, right? To keep going and keep pushing.
Yeah, and it generally made the game better. Honestly, if you had to ask me for any single advice that I would give to somebody making a game, I would say just get something out there, have people test it, receive feedback and accept it. Take that feedback through your lens, to your view, your vision, and make the game better, as soon as possible.
Yeah. These are hard-earned lessons, so congratulations that you realized that this is important. Yeah. How many wish lists do you have now? Because right now, this month, you're going to launch your game.
Yeah. So I have around 700 wish lists, like 700 and something at the moment. And I'm sure I'm gonna get over 1,000 wish lists before I release, because Fire Software has played my game on stream. Right? During his Indie December festival, and his YouTube video wasn't released yet, because he's releasing them one at a time, and he's been releasing these videos for almost 2 months. No, actually over 2 months now, and mine is next in line. So in a few days, that's gonna be on YouTube. So I'm assuming I'm gonna get a few hundred visuals.
Oh, I understand. There. Yeah, because I knew he did a stream with your game on Twitch. This is what I'm showing right now.
Yeah,
he is playing your game, but on YouTube it's not up yet.
Yeah. So it's gonna be up on YouTube, and I'm gonna get a few wishlists from there. And then I also have a few friends that own Discord servers and stuff, and I'm gonna basically post more Reddit posts and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to generate hype and see if I can pass the 1,000 wishlist mark, maybe better, maybe more in these few days.
But still, having Pyra Software feature your game on Twitch on live stream, this is amazing. I mean, a lot of people are dreaming of this. How was his overall impression of your game? Because I know you chatted a bit with him on the stream.
Yeah, I mean, I think he really liked the game. I don't think it's his kind of game, but he enjoyed it nonetheless, which I think that's really good, in my opinion.
Did you see some kind of increase in Steam wishlists during the week of this stream?
Yeah, for sure. I have gotten around almost 200 wishlists after the live.
That's amazing.
I'm expecting a similar movement for the YouTube video as well. So I'm very happy for that. I'm very thankful, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. And how did you manage to get in contact with him, or for him to actually showcase your game?
Yeah, so he posted on Twitter that he was looking for games to feature in his Indie December Fest, and I've seen a lot of games applying. So I was like, okay, let's just give it a shot, see how it goes.
I'm
And
sure
it
the
went
list
well.
was like this, right?
Yeah, I think he actually mentioned that he had so many games that he started. No, I think he's debating to do this Indie December thing also in the summer. Although I'm not sure how he's gonna call it, but he was thinking that he's gonna do it like 2 times a year, which is very interesting. I think that's a great thing, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure it helps a lot of indie developers being featured by someone like him. He has a large following.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on this achievement. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And during this whole period of 3 years, you said that you worked yourself on development, you worked yourself on art, but you had the music being made by someone and the art cover for Steam. So that means you have a very, very low budget, right? In terms of what you invested in this game.
More or less, to be honest, depends. I mean, I would say it's a pretty low budget, but I also think I invested around $1,000, to be honest, somewhere around that range.
Okay. Well, yeah, comparing it to a studio, yeah. That's
nothing.
That's nothing. But your own expenses, and considering also that you're a student, yeah, that's a considerable amount of your own money.
Most of it went to the Steam capsule art because that's very important, but also to a lot of Unity plugins, assets, and stuff like that. Well, scripting assets mostly, because I made the art myself. I thought that's a pretty good deal. Like, I got a lot of useful stuff. For example, Bakery for Unity, which let me bake lights in the game. So it was, 100 times more optimized than it would be if I used real-time lights. Stuff like that, And these I get to keep after I release the game. So it's not really a loss. I can use them for more games in the future.
Yeah, because once you pay for these tools, yeah, you can use them.
Yeah. Same goes for the music. Because I have a lot of music of like different genres, not only what I used in the game. I bought all the music packs from Humble Bundle, if you heard of the site.
Yeah.
It sometimes has like music packs and stuff, so I was just buying every single deal I could find.
Yeah, they also have software there, not only games. I know about it. I also bought some tools from a lot of games I have. My Steam library is filled with Humble Bundles that I haven't opened at all. So yeah. I'm a client of there. And right now, during the let's say pre-launch phase and the launch phase, what's your strategy of promoting your game now? Well, obviously, doing this episode together, I hope this would generally help you to increase your wish list and your sales. But other than this,
well, so besides posting the trailer every single place I could find, maybe make a few shorts, a few Reddit posts. Talk to some people, maybe get some like Discord server partnerships and stuff like that going. Also reaching out to YouTubers and stuff. I already done that before, but probably gonna do it again in a few days before releasing the game.
So the idea is to reach out to them and send them some Steam keys, right? For them to try the game, or how exactly?
Yeah, basically. To bigger and smaller YouTubers.
Well, good luck with that. I hope you get featured on a lot of channels, and that will bring you a lot of wish lists.
Thank you.
Are you considering to increase the scope of this game, to add some features, improvements after you launch? Do you have a plan for this?
Yes and no at the same time. I mean, I have considered it a lot and I have a lot of ideas, but it only depends on how much traction and community the game is gonna build up after launch. Because making features, adding features for a game that nobody plays, it's a waste of time basically. So it depends on the launch, more or less.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the most suggested thing was like a level designer, which I think would be really cool. But again, you need to have somebody to design the levels.
Yeah. So you mean a custom editor in the game?
Yeah.
What would you say is the most significant part that you learned from this whole experience?
Everything felt like a learning experience, more or less. But if I had to pinpoint something, that would be do your research before starting to work on a game. Like do the marketing research, do the feasibility research, set a proper scope for the game and the features that you must have, not you want to have, stuff like that. These hard lessons are the stuff that I learned.
Yeah, that's pretty wise. These are lessons that we hear about them. I'm sure this isn't the first time you encounter them, right? Only from your work. Maybe you heard about these from other people working on games, but only when we actually do the work, then we actually realize, oh, okay, then I should have done more of that or pay attention to that. But that's a huge gain for you, I would say, because now for your next project, I'm guessing you would like, right, to make another game in the near future. So for your next project, you have better tools, better skills for you to pursue being more focused with a clearer vision and execution, right?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, for the next project, I think I'm gonna also look for a team. So I'm not gonna make a solo dev project again, basically. Wow. I think that's the next step, in my opinion, because like I said, I made that game to build up experience. So I wanted to be something I do myself. But the next game I'm gonna make to be like, you know, a market-ready game, a good game, a game that sells. And for that, like, I would meet partners and stuff like that. Because I learned that working on a game solo isn't the most fun thing in the world, especially when you need to iterate often and get opinions on stuff. Because like I said, I asked a few friends, but you know, they aren't necessarily always available whenever I have a question or I need to have an idea validated by somebody. So getting feedback, to be honest, was something that was very hard when you're working alone, like when you don't have somebody to discuss an idea with. And that's just one of the things that really sucked when you work on a game all by yourself. Of course, there's also the fact that if you have like the same amount of time, so the game will just be pretty faster.
In a good way that you said you want to work together with a team in the future. So I have 2 questions. Game that you would like to focus on and what you want to delegate.
Yeah, so I'm first and fourth, and I can also double as a 3D artist, right? These are my biggest strengths. And then I would look for an environment artist because you never have enough 3D artists. I would look for an animator, perhaps somebody who's familiar with like the Unity particle system and stuff like that. So we can have a good VFX. So maybe an animator that doubles as a VFX artist or something like that. And that would be the dream team, plus somebody who knows how to do 2D art very well for capsule art and for icons in game, animations. I mean 2D animations.
Yeah, well, I'm wishing you all the best to find the perfect partners for you. And if there's anyone who's watching this right now, maybe drop a line to Rob and see what you can cook up together in the future. And what you said earlier regarding you want other people close to you so you can get feedback. Obviously, having your own team is the fastest way to get feedback, right, internally. But I have a feeling you're going to be surprised by this launch of your game. I think it's going to do quite all right in terms of sales and engagement. And I think you're going to build a community around this. So it's pretty niche. I hope you're aware of this. It's not for everyone, this game, but that's not a bad thing. That's really a good thing that you have a very specific niche with your game. And there are a lot of people passionate by these types of speedrunning genre. I think you're going to create your own community, at least on Steam or maybe on Discord or whatever. I'm going to put the links to your socials and your servers in the description for people to join and follow you and interact with you. So this is actually a call to action for the viewers. If you like this game and want to interact with Rob, please go there on his servers and his pages. And once you have this community, I think they will motivate you more to be engaged in this game and maybe improve it, maybe add a few levels and stuff like that and discuss with them. Have closed beta testings with them.
For sure, for sure.
What would you say was the hardest part of making this game so far for you?
I think because I really hate long and tedious tasks. Level design was by far the hardest thing, for sure.
I bet, yeah. So you said you spent 5 or 7 months there on just this part. It is pretty tedious to make these kind of levels. But as I'm seeing now on the screen share, I'm sure also pretty satisfying once they click and they feel good, right? And the rhythm is there and everything. And the music is very, very suited for this type of game. It's pretty engaging.
I had a lot of music packs, so I just picked whatever I thought would fit the game and would fit the level and sound good.
Yeah, you nailed it. So please, everyone who's watching, open the Steam page at least and click that audio button to watch it with full music. It has a vibe to it and an energy that's really fitting for this style of game. So you said that you're gonna wait and see the reception of this game, if it makes sense to add more content to it or not.
Yes.
And let's assume that you will have a really good reception and really good following. In that case, would you also consider launching on multiple platforms?
Yeah, I think I would probably launch on console as well. And maybe make a VR version of the game, because I think that would be really cool.
Wow, I completely agree. Yes, I haven't thought about it, but yes. You need to pay attention to that nausea sensation in that case. But yeah, this could be a really good game on VR for sure. And I also see it on Steam Deck. I don't know if it's automatically compatible for Steam Deck or if you need to make some optimizations for it. How is the process? Do you know?
So how it worked was that I just submitted the game to check if it's playable on Steam Deck, and then the devs on Steam played the game and gave me the feedback and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
really?
They said, and they just said it's partially playable, because I think they said that it natively supports the Steam Deck resolution, but you have to change it through settings and stuff like that. So they said it's playable, but like it's not optimized for Steam Deck. And that's basically the message that also appears on Steam. But I don't have to do anything besides fixing what they told me to fix. And then I can just reapply for another verification and, get the green check.
So the resolution, that's the only part that they suggested to fix.
I think there were more things I have to check.
Maybe the input, right? This needs to be a bit adapted for the joysticks.
Perhaps, but I'm pretty sure that the Steam Deck already does that by itself, since as far as I know, you can even play games that weren't actually supposed to be played on a console on the Steam Deck. Okay.
Well, I wish you all the success and hopefully to see this game on all the platforms and consoles, even Nintendo. Why not? This can be a great place for it. Where can people find out more about you and your game?
Well, they can totally find that out on the YouTube channel I have, on my Discord server. You can talk directly with me, and you can actually find all that information on the Steam page of the game. Have all the links there.
Let me see here, right? Discord, YouTube, X, Blue Sky. Perfect. So, players and people interested by Rob's journey, please follow him, get in contact with him. He has an amazing journey ahead of him. So, Rob, this is your first commercial game. It's amazing. Don't worry if, I don't know, it's not a financial hit. Just keep pushing. This is an amazing game with great quality to it. And it will entertain a lot of people, I'm sure. All right, we're approaching the end. I have two more questions. One is from myself. The other is from another person. I'll tell you a bit what's that about. The last question from myself is, what would you want or wish for the players to understand about this indie game development journey that we haven't covered already?
I think if I had to pick something, I guess they should understand that game development is not as easy as people make it sound, but it's also a lot of fun and worth checking it out.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Yeah, I feel you. I understand you. Also myself. So for 3 years, I've been doing this together with other people, and yeah, it's not easy. And I'm working on the production side mostly. I'm not working on the development or art side, but it's still difficult in some cases. Okay, Rob. So in closing, I have started a tradition that I borrowed from another YouTube channel. That other channel is called Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett. At the end, the current guest is presented a question that has been passed on by the previous guest, not knowing who this person would be now. In my previous episode, I did an episode with a really great guy called Matteo, who's working on a game he launched last year called Paddle Paddle Paddle, which is a really interesting game in the friend slop area. It's doing really well. This year, he's on track to make $1 million with his game. I recommend you check out this other video. And the question from Matteo for you is, who is your game dev hero? Who is the person that inspired you on your journey?
I think my game dev hero would be the person I watched the most of tutorials on when I learned how to use Unity. He's called Code Monkey, and he has really good quality tutorials. He had a 10-hour tutorial on Unity development, and that's how I started, basically.
Yeah. Shout out to Code Monkey. Yeah, I also watched a lot of his videos. He's great. His contribution to the Unity community is amazing. Okay, thank you for that. Anything else that you would like to add to our conversation?
No, it's fine.
Well then, thank you. Thank you, Rob, for your time. Thank you for joining and being so open about your journey. I hope this brought some light to your game and people are interested about it, at least to wishlist, if not to buy it when it's out. So on February 20th, right? Is the launch day?
Yep.
Okay. So please wishlist Rob's game. You'll be notified about the launch. And all the best. Right. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.